Hello and God bless you. I'm Pastor Grace Donald and you're welcome to my channel. I'm here doing the Lord's business, just occupying till He comes. Please subscribe to this channel for more life transforming videos that will boost your faith and turn you into that true worshiper that the Father seeks. Follow me closely on today's broadcast and I assure you that you will be blessed. God bless you for joining me on today's broadcast. Thank you for being there, always watching Grace channel. Thank you for sharing my videos. Thank you for the likes. And thank you also for your subscriptions and then for the comments. God bless you richly. Today's broadcast, I'm going to be continuing on my testimony. The last clip on my testimony was titled Overcoming Depression from Heartbreaks, Disappointments. All right, today I want to be continuing from where I stopped. So if you haven't seen that video, please check it out. And I can assure you that you'll be blessed and you will live a life above depression, above the sorrow and the troubles and the heartbreaks that the devil is trying to throw at you. You know, disappointments and all that. You will get all that you need to break through it and come out victorious and be a blessing in the end. Yes, your story will become a blessing, to become a testimony that others will learn from, that will save others. Just the same way God is using this testimony to reach out to you today. Hallelujah. So today I'm going to be talking about my 300 level in Uniben. As a French student, my 300 level in Uniben was called year abroad study. Yes, that's what we do. Every 300 level French students in Nigeria does 1 year abroad study, and that 1 year abroad could be in any French speaking country or in Badagry, the French village Badagry in Nigeria. All right, so in my time, in my set, we had a choice. Before then, it was compulsorily in Badagry. Even when I did my year abroad in my NCE, I did it in Badagry. We all did it in Badagry. Although that was just a 6 weeks program. But this one, the whole of the 300 level, the whole year of our 300 level was a year abroad course. And I did mine in Badagry. Some of our course mates had the privilege and the financial power to go to Togo and Cotonou and some Cotonou, that's Benin Republic. But I did mine in Nigeria, Badagry French village, and so many majority of us did as there anyway. So now before I went to Badagry, towards the end of my first year in Uniben, my 200 level as a direct entry student in Uniben, I had a brother in the church. Remember, I did not fellowship in the school. I remember my youth president then told me specifically that this time around we're not going to allow you to go to fellowship in school. You have to keep coming to church because of the duty, you know, you're handling church. And meanwhile, I've always been in the choir and I was still in the choir. While I was in school, I was still in the choir. Every time I come home for holiday, I go back to the choir and, you know, so I was still in the choir at this time. So my president then said, no fellowship for you. You have to come to church and serve here. And then I obeyed and I was doing that. I was serving as a youth ESCO. And among the youth ESCO, there was a brother that was so close to me, so close. We were like a group of 5, always together, you know. And then sometimes during meetings, he'll pay my due, you know, as youths then, and we still do that now anyway. We serve God not only with our time but also with our money. We have to pay dues to support the fellowship, you know, for programs and all that. And then there was a lot of camp meetings during this time. We went for youth camp meetings, and those camp meetings were awesome, you know, where we have to coordinate ourselves, have revival programs. They were awesome. and then most of the time I was in the kitchen, welfare unit. There was one that I had to be I was in the welfare unit, helping, serving in the unit. Then the next one, I was the leader of the welfare unit, organizing the food, the cooking of the food, the serving of the food, and all that. It was an awesome experience. I've always loved cooking, and if you have been following my testimony, you know how I've gone into the catering things. For those of you that have watched my videos, if you have not watched it from the beginning, you can go and follow up and you find out how I got into catering business. So many of the things that I couldn't even learn from my home, probably because, there's some kind of food that you cannot afford in the house. But when you go for these catering things, helping caterers out, like I used to go do as a teenager, then I learned so many things, how to cook so many food that ordinarily I would not have cooked in the house. So it was helpful. And then having to cook during the youth camp meeting, it was awesome. Having the units, going to the market, buying the food stuff, cooking it in the kitchen. Sometimes, most of the time, when the program is going on, you're in the kitchen, cooking for others. And then the only way you can follow the service most of the time is for them to organize a radio set to extend the message to the kitchen. So while you're in the kitchen, you'll be hearing the message. That was a sacrifice that most of us had to pay then, and it was worth it. So I enjoyed serving as the welfare leader during this tenure of Pastor Andrew. It was a glorious experience, serving others. There was wonderful. I can't even begin to talk about it, but it was a glorious experience. And then sometimes after cooking and serving, we cannot go to the church and, go to the camp meeting and fellowship inside the church. But the duty was basically to serve as welfare leaders. Camp meetings were wonderful then. Youth camp meetings, they were awesome experience and a good grant, to experience God. Awesome. Now there was this brother that was close, and then he would send me messages, phones just came out. I got my first mobile phone in 2003 when I just newly started working with my NC. I went at Unibe. That's when I got my first mobile sets. It wasn't so common then. So he would send me text messages. Then there was no WhatsApp, no social media as such. It was just text messages. He sent wonderful, should I say romantic text messages? But I was so innocent because my mind wasn't on the relationship anymore. I didn't even count it as anything. I just see it as normal brotherly love, kind of thing. You send messages. Is this my roommates? The people I told you I squatted with. My sister Deborah from NC, NIFES. I told you about her in the last video. You can check it out to understand what I'm talking about. So this my roommates, we are 4 in the room. Sometimes I'll read the message, they will read it with me. I'll read it out to them. They're like, wow, who sent you that message? There was even one of us, I would say, give it to me, because about 2 of them we engaged then. 2 of us out of the 4 we engaged then. They would say, give me the message, let me send it to my guy. They were even copying his messages and sending it to their own fiancé then. But I didn't see the light. I didn't understand what he was up to. They were even the ones that now opened my eyes to say, these messages are not, it's not just from a brother. This one is not just Christian brother thing, though. This brother is interested in you. I said, no, it's not possible. We are very close friends. I said, leave that thing. This is not close friends. This brother is interested in you. And then he will send me gifts. He was working with these GNLD people then. He will send me all their products for hair, the cream, and these are expensive products that ordinarily I can't even afford. You send them to me, give them to me as gifts, and I just saw it as brotherly love. I didn't see anything coming. Why? I was down, deep into the service of the Lord, deep into the work of God. I was not even expecting any man. I was not anxious. Yes, that's the word. I was not anxious. I was not desperate. I wasn't even noticing those that were coming around me. I was just serving God and not seeing what was going on. So it was my roommates that put it into me that this guy is interested in you. You better find. I said, but he has not said anything. He has not said anything, so I don't think he's interested. But the more the messages kept coming, they said, you better ask this guy something. It's possible that he's a shy type. And, there are really brothers like that are so shy to open up and tell you that they are interested in you. So, let me talk to the ladies here. If you have a brother like that around, instead of just enjoying their gifts and enjoying their friendship, you need to ask them questions. Why? Because some of these people will just be there, they will not talk. and you will not know their intentions, and they will end up driving away other suitors that may be interested in you, because those suitors will think that you have something going. Meanwhile, nothing may be going. So you need to be sure, you need to clear them so you can drive them off so they won't drive out the real suitors, you understand? So there may be people that are shy to approach you. You can help them. So if you have a brother like that as a sister, you have a brother like that, don't just sit down there and enjoy all the gifts, enjoy all the funny, lovely messages, enjoying his company. You need to help him. Help him in not throwing yourself at him or pushing him to sin, but by asking him what his intentions are. Yes. And I got to do that later when the push got too much on my friends, and then the gifts kept coming in and all that. So I had to ask. And I didn't even know he was the shy type, because really during meetings, he's very vibrant. He's even one of the people that will raise motions that we almost disorganize meetings there, executive meetings there, when we are arguing and talking and, deliberating. So I didn't think he would be shy to approach a lady. You understand? So towards the beginning of my 300 level, before I left for Badagry, he knew I was going to travel since we're so close, and then he became so clingy and all that. I was like, it was a good opportunity to ask, what is going on? Why are you so? You've been giving me gifts. You've been taking care of some of my dues. You've been friendly. You've been sending me wonderful messages that my friends can't even believe that there's nothing going on between us. So tell me, what is going on? What do you have in mind? What are you up to? That was when I said, well, actually, I'm interested in you. So all this while you've been interested and you never said that, I couldn't have believed that you were, if not for my friends that pushed me. It was really funny. I didn't expect it from him, because we're so close, just brothers and sisters in the fellowship. I thought it was agape love, you understand? So that was when he actually said, well, he's interested. Well, I was about leaving. I think it was even the very week I was about traveling. And then the Sunday before the Monday that I left, he wanted to snap with me, snap pictures, kept a copy and gave me a copy. Said he just wanted to be, see my face while I'm away and all that. And then he made promises. I'll come and visit you in Badagry, all the way from Benin. You come and visit. Yes, I'll come and visit you. Please don't listen to any other person while you are there. It just made me know that he was actually interested and he had marriage in mind. And I said, well, okay, no problem. Since you say you visit, I'll wait for you and all that. So I went to Badagry for my 300 level, and not through my 300 level. He was in touch. He would call, spend time to talk to me on phone, and then he would ask, do you need something? Sometimes, of course, we always need something. Do you need money? Of course, we always need money as students. So most of the time, he would send me recharge card. Then it was very rampant. People send you recharge card, you sell it. Below the exact, maybe they send you 1,005 MTN for those of you that are used to the network in Nigeria, and then maybe you sell it for 1,300 or 1,200, and then you have some money to keep yourself in school. So he was supporting me like that every now and then. And then another way that I supported myself through the help of the Holy Spirit was through one divine idea that the Holy Spirit gave to me. I had a mobile phone, and I was, when this credit comes, I'll sell it, for 1,200, sometimes 1,300, and then I have a shortage of about 300 or 200, and I'm like, what is going on? Instead of selling this thing, why don't I use to make calls? People go out to make calls outside the village, because there was no call center inside the village. You have to go outside to make calls, and then making call from your own phone sometimes is more expensive, so people go to phone booths to make calls. So I thought of it, why don't I have a phone booth here? People students that are selling recharge card, they can sell it to me, and then I'll be able to make calls with my phone. What am I using the phone for? Just to receive calls. How many calls do I receive? Let me use it for business. And that was how I started doing that business inside the French village, Badagry. Now, in French village, Badagry, there was so much temptation. You know what Lagos is? And that student can get crazy. And then we had a combination of students from all over Nigeria. And then UNILAG students who always want to show themselves, especially those of them that go out with sugar daddies and the rest. And then you see cars coming. It's not only just in Badagry anyway. Even in the hostel in Uniben, you see flashy cars coming to pick girls. That is the temptation that some of us students face in school. If you don't hold on to God, you end up falling into their trap. Why? Because you need money to support yourself in school. So, but God helped me. I did not fall into that trap. There were so many allergies that were coming to the school to pick girls out and to throw money at them. But we knew better. I knew better to fall into that trap. But so many students, so many ladies were involved in that. In short, when we got to Badagry, it was a different lifestyle. Life was different. Even the people that you knew in school before, your classmates in school, you will be amazed the way they were living a flashy life and the way they would leave the hostel, the village in the night and not return the next day. Oh, weekends. Oh my God. Weekends were, parties and people, it was so rampant back there in the village. And then the beach. Oh God. The beach was a weekend thing. And I remember him telling me, don't go to the beach. When I come, I'll take you there by myself. I said, okay, no problem, I promise. And then there was a time that we had to go together as a group from my school. And then I had to call for say, we have to go to my group, my school, we are going together. It's a school thing. Okay, you can go, no problem when I come. So the promises kept coming, but before I finally left Badagry, he didn't come. And that was like a 6 months course or a 7 months course, but he was always calling and we were always in touch. And then I could even say, yes, we had something going, but on phones, and then that was it. And back to the business aspect. So I started this core business and it sustained me all through. That was one of the ways that God provided for me all through while I was in Badagry. I'll buy a recharge card from students. So they normally go outside and sell for 1-2, if it's 1-5 recharge card, for example. But instead of the 1-2 that is sell, they buy it from them outside. I buy it for them for 1-3. So some of them will even come to me and say, yours is more, as in yours is higher. So instead of losing 100 naira, they would rather give it to me 1-3. Sometimes I always say I don't have money to pay for it because most of the time I have to make the cost first to be able to get the money to pay for the recharge card. So I tell them I've already bought one, so I don't have money to. They will say, don't worry, load it. Whenever you finish making the call, whenever you have the money, I'll come and take it. So many people prefer to sell to me. Why? Because I was buying it at an higher price than them outside the camp. So they will sell it to me for. I will sell it to them for. They will sell it to me for 1-3. I will gain extra 200 from the 1-5, and then when I make the calls, I'll make extra money. And it didn't affect my grades in any way. My grades were still very good. My grades were still very perfect. I still had time to read. I still had time to do my business. It was just my phone call. So after class in the evening, I come out and make my calls. People knock on the door, want to make call, I give them my own roommates too. They come out, they want to make call, I give them my phone. And I was making money from this. It was one glorious idea that God gave to me to sustain me all through in school. And I didn't have to beg for food while I was in school. I didn't have to even call home for money as such. I was just getting blessed with my business. And that was how I saw I was able to buy my books and do everything I'm supposed to do and participate in everything I'm supposed to participate. So this is why I don't support those that go into sin or in the name of they need provisions, they need financial support. There is always a way out. God is a provider. It's Jehovah Jireh. So if you are going through hard times and you don't know how to meet up with your financial demands, ask God for ideas. He will give you ideas. He will never leave you stranded. David said, since I was young and now I'm old, I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed beg bread. Do not put your hand to evil just because you want to meet up with your financial demands. God is a God that teaches us to make profits. So he can show you the way to make profit. He told Isaac, sow in that land. People were running away. He said, sow there. And Isaac sowed in that land, a land where there was famine, and he reaped 100-fold. So even if others are doing it, you don't have to put your hand to sin to survive. You can survive the godly way. God always have a plan for us to survive. He's Jehovah Jireh. He can never fail us. He will always provide for us. So long as you are not asking too much, you are not going outside this limit, you are not being, how do I call it? You're not being open eye. You're not being, you should be content. Yes, be content. Add godliness and contentment. It is great gain. Don't open your eyes and be lustful. That is the word. Don't be lustful and covet the way of the world. You can do it God's way and still not lack. So long as you are not expecting to have it the wrong way. God can give you ideas to survive, to have that provisions that you need as a student, even if you don't have parents are rich enough to support you. God can give you the ideas that you need. So long as you are ready to work with him, he will give you the strength and the wisdom that you need to make works. God gave me that idea and he sustained me through school. He did not drop my academic performance. He did not reduce me. So those that are going to parties, those that are going to clubs, those that are going out with men, snipping around to make money, they came back with poor results. Some of them may even have to pay for their results. But I had my results good and clean and perfect. Yet, I was still doing business while in school and sustaining myself by the help of God. The grace of God is sufficient unto you. You can do same and he will guide you in that way. So please, I encourage you, don't put yourself into evil just to survive. God knows how best to help you survive in this world of sin. So don't put your hand in sin. God can provide for you. It's Jireh. It's a major word for you today in this my video. Please take it seriously. Ask God for help and he will drop that idea in your mind. Just take a bold step, walk in it, remove shame. Some of us think, I can't do that. It's a let. No, it's not a let. If God is guiding you to do it, do it. It's a way that is going to bless you, to sustain you, to make sure that you don't lack. Do it and you will take all the glory in the end. I attended fellowship. There was fellowship for all Christians. There was fellowship for the Catholics, there was fellowship for the Muslims. Those were the three groups of religion that was in the campus in Badagry. And I joined the Pentecostals and it was a glorious experience. We had a fellowship in French and all that. It was interesting. The excursions and all that. And that was how we sailed through the first the 300 level in Badagry. Results came out wonderfully well, and in Badagry, God helped me. At a point where I was in Badagry, the Lord said it was time for you to change your wardrobe now. Because when I entered school, I didn't dress flashy. There was no money to dress flashy anyway, and I still dressed SU. And so I didn't have many friends. The people that were close to me were my education, English, French, and the few French students, because most of the Unimed French students, they were so flashy. So they are like, this one is too spiritual for me, you know. So I didn't have much of them coming close to me, except for those that saw, that wanted to, you know, tap from my intellectual grace that God blessed me with. You know, they wanted to learn something, one or the others from me. Those are the only people that were close to me. But when I got to Badagry, God said, it's time to change your wardrobe. And through those provisions I had, I was able to improve on my wardrobe, and I was able to dress a little higher and better than the way I used to dress then. And for the first time, it was when I was in Badagry, apart from when I was in the UK that I wore trousers, or in the name of code, you know, then. But it was in Badagry that I started wearing trousers. And this time around, I didn't see it as a sin anymore, the way some of us used to be so strict and think that wearing trousers is a sin and all that. It was back in Badagry when God said, change your wardrobe. And then I understood what it meant. I had the conviction. I know there are people that dress, you know, that dress down, dress, let's say, deeper life way. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't condemn them. Then I also believe those that dress the way we dress also. There's also nothing wrong with that. I think it boils down on your conviction and then your moderacy. Bible says your moderacy should be known to all. Said, and then your decency. Be decent about it. So that's it. So God is a vast God and he has many children. So the way God approaches you may not be the same way he approaches the other. I am sure, and I knew very well, and I know how God speaks to me. That it was God that said, change your wardrobe. It was time to change that. I changed my wardrobe. And then I added class, I added style, but not naked, but decent. Still very decent. It didn't spoil anything about my faith. I was still very faithful. I was still serving the Lord. So I'll draw the curtain here today, and I'll tell you how that second relationship went, the second relationship that I ever entered into, and then how I left Badagry French village. So till I see you again, please stay put. Know God for yourself. Hear God for yourself. Yes, you can hear God through many means, but a personal relationship with God is very important. So you know what God is telling you, you know how God is leading you, and you'll not be confused with doctrines. That's all I'll tell you today. So God strengthen you, God keep you, God cause his face to shine upon you. God help you to keep close to him and walk with him faithfully, diligently. God speak to you and give you the direction. He will point you in the way you should go. And may your ears be open to hear him. May your hearts be open to obey him. In Jesus' mighty name. Amen. So till I see you again, keep having awesome experience in your walk with God, resulting in diverse ear-tingling and mind-blowing testimonies. So till I see you again, bye.